Hi guys, welcome back to part 2 of the DoraWings Miles Master video build. I'll put a link up to part 1 above here probably. Anyway, you might remember that we left it something similar to this. So what I've done, we've filled in, let's get a pointer. I've filled in around here. If you remember, this was 2 separate pieces on the top of the windscreen, so I filled this gap. There was a bit of a gap there, filled that and rescribed it. I did find a great picture online showing that there actually is a panel lines that's there. I've rescribed along here. We haven't really filled, there was no gaps to fill. We've sanded the seams down, but if you can see there, I don't know whether you can see that one there, the little seam there, that just wants a bit of Mr. Surfacer in there. Underneath is very similar, just wants a little bit of attention just around here. Not worrying too much about it because obviously, as you can see, I ain't got the wings on yet. And what we've also done, we've repainted around the back of here. It's a bit rough, but you won't see anything because of the canopy. It's just sort of wanted to get like a bit of a cleaner edge than what was there. And the main part, what you can see here, is I've sprayed MRP interior green on this part here, which was previously black. This photo clearly shows this has been the same colour as the interior, and then like the combing is obviously a dark colour, which obviously is the black. So that's where we are up to now. What I think I'm going to do with the wings is just go for it. I think I was considering gluing the top wing on first and offering up the underside like that, so we can get a nice clean line, but clean route, wing route. But I think I'm just going to go for it. I'm just going to go the traditional way, wings together. Oh yeah, I'll put the nav lights in as well. Looks quite nice, doesn't it? Wings together like that, and then plonk it that way. I think we're going to go down that route and hope for the best. Okay, so let's get on with it. So this is the wing, or the wings all glued up. I've landing lights, not nav lights. They're nav lights. Landing. I put the lens in the landing lights. I've got to get this right. And polished it up. It might need a little bit more. Unfortunately, I've got like a little shake in the just there. It's a real shame, but not a lot I can do about it. I've tidied up some of the leading edge here. It's gonna need a little bit more tidying. We've nav lights, thank you. Nav lights are in. This side's all polished up and ready to go. that side I started doing it, but it wasn't quite set, so I've had to re-glue that one, and we'll do it tomorrow now, or do it another day. So we're all ready to get this onto the fuselage. I've also tied up this seam here. Obviously I won't know until I get a bit more primer on that, so we don't know about that yet, but that looks alright to me. And likewise with the underneath. I want to get as much of the rough, all the heavy work done before I put these the wings to the fuselage. You can just gets in the way, doesn't it? So what I'm going to do, because this is still a bit of a tight old squeeze, is not film it again. I'm sure you'd be delighted to hear it does go together. You can see how I'm wrestling with this a little bit. It does click in, but it's not too bad. But if you look on this side here, we've got a bit of something to play with here, and I don't quite know why that is. If I push this up here like this, I'm looking right old pigs here. This. Now, if I push that up like that, it does actually fit, but it doesn't quite click in. Kind of left with the. See, it doesn't. Oh, there you go. It doesn't quite marry up. So I need to just do a bit more work, and then when we come back, we'll have probably the wings on, and we'll probably have most of the tailplane on. I'll probably leave the rudder off for painting. I might even leave the horizontal stabilizers, or probably the elevators. I'll probably leave them off actually. The stabs can go on, and I might leave, if I can do it, I think I can, leave them on for painting because they're a different colour. Right, let's what's the play with this? I'm looking forward to it, I must admit. So this is how we're looking now. What I've had to use some super glue. That's good stuff. If you can get hold of it, I recommend that. That's pretty good. The VMS Flexi thin stuff. I've had to just tack the sides here, just with super glue, and underneath here with a bit of super glue, and that's all gone off. And now I can just run some extra thin down these joins here, and hopefully that should hold it all in. We might as well do it while we might as well do it now, lads, haven't we? because I've got no patience and can't wait for anything, yeah, I glued it in anyway. So that is that. That actually is in the kit, is in the actual aircraft. This little piece here, it's like a strengthening frame for the canopy, I'd guess, and the actual these canopies lift over this way, and they run up on little runners inside this little frame. So actually, that should technically, well, it should really be there in the kit anyway. So you've got to build your own. I'd say this mass set isn't brilliant. It's lifting up there on the front, which is a bit of a pain in the backside. And the front canopy, that none of this fitted at all. I didn't even know what shape it was, so I've had to make it up with a bit of tangy tape. But there you go. I'm kind of pleased with that. I've still got to keep this one. I'm going to have this one open, so I needed to pack that out, fill that in with a bit of foam or something. And I can't show you, I don't know where it is. But we'll have it. We'll just have it in the open positions. It gives a bit of a jaunty angle, but I reckon we could be nearly ready for paint at last. Oh my godfathers, really? Could be. We've covered the framing, the canopy framing with interior green, obviously, and now we're going to start chucking on some Mr. Surfacer white for the yellow underneath. I've masked off where the roundels are going to be because the camouflage cuts right. I'll show you. It's easier if I show you. The camouflage, as you can see here, cuts right in the centre of that decal. Now, I reckon that decal ain't going to be thick enough to cover the line between the yellow and the whatever colour that's going to be. It looks like it's going to be the green. So you could have a little line, you have a little faint line. So, excuse me, we're just going to mask off the roundels, and it's the same with the fuselage as well, because that runs right where that is. And underneath, well, I thought I might as well carry on and do that as well. There's white underneath, so give the decals as much chance as they can, just to just to keep the colour, really, because obviously the yellow might bleed through the white of the roundel, so that's why they're on. Okay guys, so after spraying down the Mr. Surfacer, we're left with a lovely flat finish, just like that, nice and smooth, nice and flat. So we're going to, the colour I'm going to use is the MLP colour. This is MLP 28. It's already dry to the touch. Probably leave it a few more, probably an hour or so till we mask it up for the camo, just to be on the safe side. But that's kind of what it's going to look like, the yellow anyway. So next task, obviously, will be some Mr. Surfacer black, and then we'll start on some on the camouflage colours, which obviously will be your MRPs. We'll go through that in a minute, but there you go. Right, so you join me as this great unmasking begins. I know I didn't probably show all of the painting as much as I'd like to, but it's a little bit intense sometimes. You see how bright that yellow is. There might well be a couple of touch-up pieces, obviously, but we'll have to just see how we get on. I'm going to do this off camera because it's a little bit boring. I'll see you shortly. Okay, so paintwork is pretty much all finished now. I've even sprayed up the exhaust stacks. That's a Tamiya lacquer colour, lacquer paint gunmetal. Obviously I need a bit more work on that yet, but we're on to the dreaded decaling. So we'll just see how we get on with this. So just applying a bit of micro set just to try and prep the area. This is directly onto the paint. Let's see how these decals behave. I've had no end of trouble in the past. If you follow the channel, you'll know that decaling is not a strong point of mine. Well, that's gone down really nicely. That's lovely. These seem to be very good decals indeed. I have made a bit of a boo-boo. We know with the trying to mask off for these roundels, I did make the masks too big, so we've got a bit of the white grinning through on a couple of ones. It's worst one is that one there, which I'm probably going to leave, or I might do something with it. It's underneath, no one's going to notice or care even less. But it's the two top ones on top of the wings. I need to do something with them, respray them in or something like that. But the decals went down really well. The yellow doesn't quite match up with the decal, but I think it'll be fine. I think we'll be good. But the decals went down really well. So now we're on to weathering. This has had, excuse me, a really nice coat of matte coat, and the matte I've used is the Testors one. Now this is really good. Now I never used to like this stuff. It's funny how you change, isn't it? This is excellent, really is nice. You just thin it down with a bit of leveling thinner, although next time I'm going to use the rapid thinner, see what that's like, but this is really good stuff. So we're on to a bit of weathering now. It's not going to be a mucky aeroplane, obviously, because it is a prototype, very early. So we're just going to be probably just a panel line wash, maybe dirty up around the cowling, and it's the yellow really. I need to just try and tone down a little smidgen. It's a bit bright, isn't it? I quite like that, but let's try and tone it down. So what I've done, I've mixed up approximation colour, like a dirty mustard colour, and we'll try that. That is mixed up with, if I remember rightly, a bit of yellow ochre, and then we've got some white in there somewhere. Where is it? I've lost my white. We know what white looks like. A bit of white and a bit of raw umber as well, just thrown into the mix. So mix that up, and then we get that, and then we've got some Sansador. I'm using that for a bit of for the thinning. Let's try that out. I know it's a bit takes a long while to go off, but we'll give it a go. And let's see what we're going to do here. So let's speed this up. So just a bit of post shading. I think we've got a mixture of Tamiya excuse me, Tamiya colours, a black, red, brown I think, and there's maybe a NATO brown in there, thinned with lovely rapid thinner. So what we're going to do here, we're just adding some rust to the exhaust stacks here. Something like that. That's quite nice. So we're just coming to the final part now. I've glued the propeller on. That doesn't spin, unfortunately. What I've got left to do on this one now is just to deglaze or demask the glazing, and then we're done. What I've actually going to show you now, I've finished it with this Tamiya lacquer paint. This is the semi-gloss clear LP24. It gives a nice little sheen to it. The undercarriage is on. I get this off because it's really fragile. That's what it looks like underneath now. The undercarriage isn't the best. I can't say that I've done the best work there. The see how, oh, look at that. You can see how wobbly it is. I might have to put a bit of super glue on there just to hold that in place. But that's what it looks like. It's, as I say, it probably it wouldn't make a show. It wouldn't make a show in one piece. And not that it's ever going to go to a show, but But there you go. So if you just want to hang around for the money shot, which is just coming up, I'm going to say thank you for sticking about. Thank you for your support, and we will see you on the next one.